Maybe it started with your father's PC. You stared up at the screen and touched all of the keys. Maybe the screen had green letters, the cursor would blink on and off as you put it all together. Maybe your sister had cassettes she didn't want, so you placed them in your deck every night and let them bump. And sure, maybe they weren't the best to start from, but you can still say the lyrics and recite them from the heart, son. Maybe you picked up an instrument, maybe your parents made you play it even though you weren't good. And maybe your friend had that one drum set, so you kicked out a rhythm just as loud as you could. And you grew up, started talking about how bands sold out, old tapes thrown out, on to something new. Then maybe you still got a dusty guitar waiting somewhere in your closet with strings that need tuning. And maybe college taught you how to crate dig the strip had shops that stocked all the stuff you're missing. And maybe live shows made you think about it again, what music did when you really stopped to listen. That's when your whole collection blew up, and that's when you started trading mixed CDs with your friends in the dorm, where it's like everybody had a laptop all plugged into the network, swapping files again. Man, we all remember MP3s, rated Napster, but still felt physical was forever, until that one day you first held that new iPod. Slowly but surely things all came together. That's when an idea took hold in your mind. It's kinda like a song that started but it never got to finish. So all those kids who learned to sample and beat juggle, scratched over beat breaks, making up all of the sickness. At a party, maybe a mic was there on an amp and someone joked like maybe you could freestyle. You had a verse or two sitting up inside of your head. It's all a blur, fast forward in the meanwhile. Maybe you became a studio rat, maybe you learned how to cut and compress all of the vocals. Maybe you hit every open mic and freestyle comp. Maybe your name got mad buzz with the locals. And maybe you chose to walk away cause of extenuating circumstances in your life. And maybe you felt the feeling would fade. Maybe you thought that you could seriously hang up the mic to life, but it didn't give a gut check. Maybe you just needed a break that reminded you reality. You got the bug and itch to maybe spit again, and so you did, and it came out so naturally. And maybe one day you go and quit your job, and maybe you felt like life gave you just a second wind. Maybe now you don't know where you're going, so now and again just think on where you've been. This is the story of my origin, a sort of ordinary, normal, boring kid who followed the coordinates and found his way home. All these words he'd been hoarding it. It's finally time to start recording it. Maybe you can listen.